Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Bethany Esports podcast. I'm your host, Robert Barr, and I will take care of some housekeeping. And I'm happy to proudly announce that we are now presented to you in part by Mountain Dew Game Fuel. Quite interesting. And today, as my guest, I have the radio star that he himself is, Hanjay. I'm going to let you introduce yourself with your real name because I was introduced to you with your username, so I always mess up when I try to remember your name. So why don't we introduce you?
All right, no problem at all. My name is Pao Ming Yang, and I go by my IGN, Hanjay, because most people know me by that. And I play mid lane for Bethany Lutheran College Esports team, varsity.
And what year are you?
I'm a freshman.
What are you coming here intending to work on, like your major?
My major is business administration. And yeah, I was hoping to come here for esports mainly, but also because I saw that the college also provided business administration or somewhat business, related. So I thought that this was the correct college to come to.
A lot of people I meet are in the business major.
That's true.
Specifically business administration. Because
Mm-hmm.
I, in all honesty, don't know anything else about the business majors. So yeah. So, what do you play in League?
Mostly for me, I play mid lane, so there's a lot of, we call those AP mages, assassins, basically what you think they are. So basically AP mages, basically you use magic, but assassins, basically you just go in, use your damage, and kill the opponent. That's basically what you're trying to do with the assassin. But mostly mid lane is, you're kind of more of like a quarterback, I'd say. So you're looking out for plays, trying to rotate, just trying to give the play to whoever's going to make them. So you could also make them at the same time. That's the same thing as a quarterback.
The way you described mid lane to me is basically you're the ADC that doesn't get handheld.
Yes, basically.
Whereas the actual ADC has a hand holder in the support.
We call those babysitters.
The babysitters.
Yeah, babysitters.
Who then sometimes has to come up and babysit the mid lane.
Yes, that's true.
It's just how the game works. Just how the games work.
Mm-hmm.
So I introduced you as the radio star he himself is because you've been on the radio a few times.
That's true.
Want to talk about anything like that?
So we actually went to the, I think it's called Kato. Yeah, the Kato radio, is it?
It's KTOE.
Oh, KTOE.
So let me tell you this. Radio, you say the acronym, each letter out.
Okay.
So that's just how radio works. KTOE.
Yeah. So we went there 3 times. I went there towards the summer a little bit, and then twice around the fall.
They're the KTOE's radio station. I was talking to Seth earlier, and their audience is more like the older generation.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hearing that you were there to kind of explain what esports was.
Yep. So mainly it was Coach Seth was actually the one explaining it towards them, because us younger generation, we really don't know how to express it towards the older generation, because we use a lot of millennials language where it's kind of champions, top, bot, mid, where it's game phrases where we can't interpret it into the older generation language, which which is good because we have Coach Seth and Coach Lucas to do it. So I think it really helps us.
I'm gonna slightly correct you a little bit. You aren't a millennial. I'll tell you that right here, right now. You're not a millennial.
Yeah.
The millennials were the ones that were explaining it to the older generation.
Yeah.
I'll cover my bases there. We both are not millennials.
Mm-hmm.
We're Gen Z.
Yeah. What I'm saying is the millennials, basically the newer generation,
Yes.
basically.
And the way I've always described it to an older crowd is it's a form of entertainment. I don't watch football, but I watch esports as my replacement for football. So I don't understand why you enjoy football. You don't have to understand why I watch esports. So that's my parallel.
I mean, I think it's just esports, football, baseball. It's basically an entertainment industry. You can just watch it for fun. It's kind of like soccer. Why do you watch soccer? When you ask someone, why do you watch soccer? Yeah, for fun, basically. For the fun, for the team. It's kind of the same that goes with esports. We have teams, we have players that you cheer for and who you root for. So yeah.
So on that note, Want to talk a little bit about Worlds since that's a little topical right now?
Yeah. Worlds is basically so international where like the teams from each region comes to compete. Right now we're in quarterfinals.
Yeah, we're in the quarters.
Yeah.
No,
Semis. We're in
semis.
semis now.
Quarters was this weekend.
Okay.
This
yeah.
last weekend.
So quarters already occurred. Now we're on semis. So basically we're trying to find out who's gonna make it to finals.
I have SKT winning in my pick'ems, but I want G2 to win.
I honestly think G2 is okay, doing all right now, but ultimately I want SKT to win. I honestly think if SKT wins this one, Faker's gonna retire.
Ooh, he's not even that old. He's younger than me.
Like he's honestly not that old, but it looks like a good retirement. Like stop. Like if you were to retire, that would be a good stopping point.
Did you hear how he had his first 100th win internationally?
Yeah, 100 internationally. He was actually speaking about it. He was like, 100 is actually, if you think about it, 100 is not that much. He actually said that when they were asking him.
Wasn't his debut in 2015 or 2014?
I think it was around season 3-ish. Season 3.
Ooh, that's got to be like 13 then.
Yeah, that's like 2013-ish because like that was back when like it was really hype. Like back then, C9, COG, those were like the times, bro.
Those back in the good old days.
Yeah, back in the good old days.
And in video game terms, 1 year is already super old.
Yep. So, because like now you have a bunch of teams like Splice. What do you call it?
Splice.
Like there's a lot of teams that you don't even know anymore. Like back then, it was just like C9, COG, TSM, SKT, like Rails never give up. You only know those teams. But now there's like a bunch of like different teams.
There's like 15 NA teams.
Yeah, I think
because we franchised in 2017.
Yeah, I can't really give the like accurate number of that, but I'm pretty sure like the amount of teams in the NA has increased.
So sad to say, no NA teams got out of groups.
Nope.
Sad, tears
Sadly,
coming out.
Yeah, Double have talked about that, the failure of NA, but
I'm not even sure you can call it the failure of NA anymore. Yeah. It's more of the expectation of NA, because we are considered the 4th best region.
Yeah, I mean,
and when you play against the top 5 best regions and only eight teams get out of groups, it's kind of hard when most people bring 3 teams each.
Yep.
So
that's true.
So we had 1st seed China, 2nd seed China, 1st and 3rd seed Korea, and all 3 seeds of Europe. 2 of which of Europe lost in the first round. G2 beat one of the Korean teams. Oh man, gotta be proud for a Western team. True. Even if NA team didn't get out, you gotta be proud of the Westerns. So, what do you think the game's gonna go to? Because it's a best of 5 in the semifinals. IG versus FPX. You got the 2 Chinese teams going back up against each other. What do you think that one's going to turn out?
Honestly, like I don't really know too much of the other team, but I know more of IG just because they were world champions. But honestly, if they were world champions, I'd say they could beat them.
What do you think the score is going to be?
Somewhere around 3-2.
3-2?
And 4-1. 3-2, 4-1.
So those are your guesses?
Yeah, those are my guesses.
I'm going to go IG as well because that's just my personal preference, and that's how I put my pick'ems. I'm going to go hard stomp. IG, I think, brought it back. Not full hard stomp. I think FPX will take 1, so I'm going to go 1-3.
Okay.
It's personal. Gotta hope for the last world champions.
Yep.
And they just like hard stomped some people in their group. That was.
I watched some of that games actually, so I mean I gotta say IG, it's either they hard stomp or they lose one game.
They're a very volatile team. Volatile meaning they'll do well one time, or they'll do really bad the next time.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they kept the same roster, didn't they?
Yes, yeah. I think so. I know the Shy, Rookie, and Jackie Love are all from the original. Yep. I just don't fully remember the support because that's just one of the roles I didn't really pay attention to.
Yeah, me neither. It's okay. Yeah.
I feel like out of everyone in our esports team, I'm the one that keeps up with the professional scenes more. So
yeah, I think it's only because like us players, we're like so busy focused on like solo queue right now because the season's ending soon. Like November 10th is where it ends. So we're like on the hard grind to get back to like to our goal or something, you know.
Now we'll move on to the bottom of the bracket. SKT versus G2. I know who you want. How do you think that series is going to go?
I honestly think SKT. There's been a lot of troll picks picked around, but G2 also as well. There's been like a lot of troll picks as well. So if I'd say if no one pulls out a troll pick, SKT would win, cause early game if G2 doesn't expose their early game, going into mid and late, SKT is gonna win out. They're basically gonna outpressure G2 just like every other game where they gone to like late game and mid game and they just outbeat their opponent. So I'd say SKT will ultimately win the battle.
I have in my pick'ems SKT winning, so I'll say that. But I want G2 to win. And what I have seen from the two, in my personal opinion, I think it's going to be a 3-2 flip of a coin who wins. Because I think they're quite close, and one mistake, the other team will flip on a dime.
Yeah, I mean,
At that level,
you make one mistake,
they will
and
explode.
you're gonna get punished. That's why in like LCS, it's so boring to watch. Have you noticed? Like it's so boring to watch in the first like 5 to 10 minutes, and then once it comes like 15, that's when the real thing happens.
It's boring for the first 5, 10, 15 minutes for most of the teams. Then you got the actual like world level teams where, here's the level 1 picks. Here's the jungler's level 2. We'll go to the bot who's already level 1, get that pick, then go back immediately. The early game pressure, early game dives.
Yeah, like that's what I'm referring to. Like it's so boring because like nobody wants to get punished. Like the game punishes you so hard if you actually make a mistake, you know. So like you gotta play to your like best performance, you know.
And then you gotta like figure out, we lost this advantage. How do we make sure they don't snowball it? Or on the other note, how do we snowball this one advantage we got so they don't roll us over in the late game?
I mean, late game and mid game, there's a lot of decisions be made, like rotations, objectives, especially. And if you just make one slightly like mistake, you're gonna get punished for the rest of the game.
So we'll move past Worlds because we've aired our grievances. We've said who we want.
SKT all the way.
I really want G2, but I don't expect them to do that well. Okay. Let's go over. I saw you playing some Earth because that came out.
Yeah.
How's that going?
It just got released. Now they changed it to where you can blind pick. So people picked a lot of like toxic champions. Like basically you just spam the abilities. There's no cooldowns. No like, you know, you can just keep on spamming it. Like probably 2 to 3 seconds delay. But you can ultimately just spam your abilities.
So Earth is ultra rapid fire mode where every single cooldown is massively reduced. Costs for all abilities, I'm pretty sure, are massively reduced.
Yep.
I don't know about neutral objectives. I was watching your game, and apparently, like the dragon is every single dragon.
So basically, the dragon it becomes kind of like an Elder Dragon combination of everything. So, yeah, I think they also maxed the HP of the dragon, so it's harder to kill.
I think the Baron was also super high.
Yeah, so you need actually 5 members to kill, all 5 members of your team to kill it, or else you just die off. So.
Have you ever seen their Earthitational video? I think it was an All-Star game or an MSI game back in 2015.
I don't think I watched it.
It's the funniest video you'll ever watch.
I should
because they'll present it to you like this is some old-timey sport. It's a beautiful, beautiful video that's on, I think, the LOL Esports main YouTube page. So I'm going to hold it to you. You got to look for that one.
Yep, I'll do my best to search for it.
So how do you spend your casual time? Because I always see you down there.
So most of my casual time, as like I'd say, I come here for esports. So most of the time, you know, we're gonna be down there grinding, trying to get to, you know, a max potential rank. So for my free time, I don't know. I like talking to my parents, making sure they're like safe and knowing that I'm safe. You know, just keeping that relationship healthy, and also like, you know, just being social, talking to everybody else. You know, you see people walking around campus, talk to them. That's usually my free time, like going and eat at dinner around 5 o'clock, and then just going to class, making sure I get on time. So
it's study,
yeah, mostly
social, And then
Study, social, and
game.
Yep.
Because I think you're down there until midnight
Mm-hmm.
every single day.
Yep. The grind never stops.
The grind never stops.
Yeah,
Where
never
are you at?
Currently, I'm at a disgrace of master level. I've gone to challenger, but dropped all the way back down to masters. I actually dropped all the way down to D1.
I know everyone.
Everyone actually
Dropped.
dropped all the way back down to D1.
Because I had Ryan at that
Yep.
week where everyone was just losing every game.
Yep. There's gonna be times where you're gonna fall. There's gonna be times where you're gonna rise. You know.
So how do you fix your mental state when that happens?
How to fix your mental state is depending on the person you are. So if you like, playing other games like Earth, especially, like a lot of pro players I see when I check their match history, I see a lot of ARAMs. I'm pretty sure when they're tilted, they hop on a game of ARAM and like detail basically. So.
Oh man, ARAM is my game because that is the most chill of lobbies.
Yeah, that's true.
Because you're pretty sure no one has ever played the champions they're on, so you won't be like super mad at them, and then you're just like, we'll run it down mid. Doesn't matter if we lose. Doesn't matter if it goes well. Well, it's really nice when it goes well.
Honestly, like those kind of games, nobody just cares if you win or lose.
No.
Like, you're not getting anything, except
those missions where it says match made games.
except those missions where you need to win. But like most of the time, nobody cares, and you're just there to detail.
Man, I didn't realize like certain champions I play, I could do really well on, but I never expect. Like I had a Talalia game where I went 22-5.
Jeez.
I did not
Insane
think I would
score.
do good on Talalia. I'm like, oh, I got her. I don't think I'm good at range nor mages. Oh, I'm really good at this one.
Yeah, that's the
So-
thing with ARAM. Like maybe you can play for fun, but sometimes you can figure out champions that you're good at, but you never knew. Like for Syndra, I didn't even play that until like I played an ARAM with Johnny, our support. I played with him one day. I played with him like it was on a school day. I played with him on an ARAM game, and I got autofill Syndra, and I was like, I don't even play this champion. But then right after like that game, I said to myself, I'm gonna one trick this champion.
Gonna learn it.
Yep, and I played it in our season game. I think it was preseason.
You gotta diversify because I always see you on either Yasuo or Zed.
Yeah, so basically,
you're basically like physical melee.
yep, Yasuo and Zen, they're mostly banned during our like tournament games. So you're never gonna see that.
Because it's you and it's like the 1-2 for you.
Yep.
So you gotta find something else.
Yeah, the thing with that is like on my main account, I like to play Yasuo and Zed just for the grind. But on my Smurfs and stuff, I play other champions. So you may see just Yasuo and Zed, but the thing is like we call those pocket picks. Basically, Yasuo and Zed's banned. They think I'm done. I pull out the Syndra and 10-0 their team, and then their mind just go boom.
Do you got any fluxes that you are pretty decent at?
Flexes? What do you mean by that?
Like one that you can pull out like, oh, I don't play this a lot, but I could probably like, also it's a champ that any of our players can like play.
Any of our champions can play?
Well, not anyone. Like basically top, mid, or ADC.
I'd say probably for mid lane, there's not a lot that bot and top plays a lot. Maybe top, but like
Because I see Irelia go top or mid.
I really during
And Akali.
during the like I think early season, not like now, but like 2 months ago, I really was good. But now she's gutted. A lot of champions they are like nerfed. Basically, their skill level and everything is like reduced, so they don't do that much. So now Irelia, Akali, they don't do that much anymore, so they're not really a priority pick.
Sucks, man.
Yep.
So how many pocket picks? I don't want to know who they are because we don't want to give anything away. How many do you got though? You gotta scare some people.
Around other than Yasuo, Fizz, TF, and like Zed, those are my main 4 picks. I'd say probably around 5-ish. 5.
You got a pretty decent champion pool then.
Yeah.
Because I think most of the pros that are considered like a shallow champion pool have like 3.
Yeah. I mean,
So, and when you get like banned against you, it's got to be painful.
Yep, it's like really painful, but that's also the good part because if they do ban all of your champions, your teammates have their picks. So our jungler Ryan, he has like basically 2 main picks, Elise and Kha'Zix. If they all ban my champions, he's getting one of those 2s, and he's gonna carry the game.
Oh, and Kha'Zix is in an S+ tier.
Yep, S+. So that's a lot to say about Kazakhs, you know.
I feel like that's also more of a solo queue champion, though. I don't see it much in pro.
It's not seen as in pro because those are more like Kane picks, like where you just auto farm, and like, you know, get kills whenever you can. Not, I'd say I wouldn't compare Kazakhs to Kane because Kane is basically a farm to 6 champion, but Kazakhs, he's just volatile. He just basically does whatever he wants, and like late game, his damage is extraordinary. You've got to see it.
How is Ryan on those like pro level picks like the Gragas, the Sejuani?
We actually haven't been putting him on most of the tank champions where it's kind of like world meta where it's been played on worlds, like the level of that. But he's pretty confident on any other pick than Kazakhs and Elise. So I'd say whatever he picks, I put confidence in him.
I put confidence in him too because he's a really good mechanics wise. So he'll probably figure something out pretty quickly.
Yep. Sometimes you just wonder how he gets to the jungle with those kind of champions.
I've tried. I had one normal game draft where 2 people got flexed and they both were autofilled and they both wanted top. And I was like, I guess I'll go jungle. So I ended up, even though I was in my role of top, I was like, okay, I'll give it because I'm a passive type of player and I don't play that much. So I'm like, okay, I'm willing to give someone their personal role since I'm not on like a grind or anything.
Yeah.
So I tried playing Elise in jungle and
Yeah, those champions.
It's not just that. I don't play jungle enough, so I don't know the pathing.
Yeah. I mean, jungle, there's just so much. There's
such a
variables.
nuance to it.
Like, literally, if you don't get used to it, first timing it is going to be confusing. And you're going to get behind. And you're just going to be like, how do you play this role?
I went 0 and 10.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Dude.
Never again.
Clean score, 0 kills. Yeah. Oh, my goodness.
Let's just say I'll never play jungle unless I got autofilled when I have a friend in who has played the game before so they can tell me where to go. That's how I usually play. Is I always wait for a friend to play with me. So
yeah, I mean, it depends on how you learn. So yeah.
So I want to thank you for joining me today.
Yeah, no
I
worries.
don't want to take you too long because it is quite late. This podcast has been recorded on the 28th of October. It's been a Monday, the year 2019. I don't know how else to really date this, so I'm just going to randomly date it like that.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah, because I'm not allowed to episode it anymore because it's why episode? Why not just date it so they can like figure out when it happened? So
smart.
This has been the Bethany Esports podcast. We have been presented to you in part by Mountain Dew Game Fuel, and I hope to see you in the next one.